All right, sports fans, today I am going to do the first ever Tale of the Grape. You get it? Tale of the tape, Tale of the Grape. So I'm tasting two Chianti Classico 2018. Same vintage, same region, two different wineries. Both wines from two different parts of Chianti Classico, but both Chianti Classico, you can see right here with the Gallo Nero right on the front. These are wineries that I've been tasting their wines for eons, especially the Castellari. Probably tasted this for the first time back in the 80s. Their first vintage was in 82. My first gig out of college was with Winebow, and this was one of their Italian estates. So we're gonna taste them side by side and see what's going on, because I mean this is apples to apples. This is how it goes down. So first I'm gonna pour some Castellare. This is the 2018 Chianti Classico. They are in Castellina, which is in the central northernmost part of Chianti Classico. And then there's the Castello di Bossi 2018 Chianti Classico, which is more towards the southern tier of Chianti Classico. So both being south of Florence, but Castello di Bossi being actually closer to Siena than Florence, whereas the Castellari is going to be closer to Florence than Siena. So here we go. So Chianti Classico, what are we looking at? Again, Tale of the Grape. We're looking at here 100% Sangiovese with the Castellari, and the fermentation 100% in stainless steel. Here we are looking at 95% Sangiovese with 5% Canaiolo, which traditional Tuscan grape, all good, and also stainless steel fermentation, right? So what I'm expecting, because this is from the northern tier or the central northern tier of Chianti Classico, I'm looking for something very floral on the nose, brighter tones, red fruit dominant versus dark fruit dominant, which is what I'm expecting really from the Castello di Bossi, because it's from the southern tier. Different soil, different climate. It gets warmer as you move south, giving a lot of the wines in the southern tier of Chianti Classico more brooding, heavy, more tannic, more robust wines. The wines north, even the ones that are north of, in like Rufina, for example, north of Florence, higher altitude, and you're talking about wines that are much more mineral driven, high tone cherry fruit, much higher acid. Both should be perfectly suited for food. So without further ado, let's see what's going on. So, wow. This is a classic textbook Chianti Classico nose. It is a combination. It is red fruit driven, I would say, but it's very almost very ripe red and black cherries here. There is some red raspberry and black raspberry on this, and then you're getting that trademark kind of hints of leather and floral bits, violets, but those are definitely playing second fiddle to the primary fruit of strawberry and cherry and raspberry. There's even some rhubarb happening here as well, but super pleasant. The floral bits, that violet, that's just trademark. I love it. I mean, it just smells absolutely delicious. I could just smell this all day long. Let's move over to the Castello di Bossi. Here I'm getting some wet tea, black tea on the nose, which is not uncommon, but leather is also kind of more dominant here than it is here. I'm still getting a combination of red and black fruit here, but this is where leather starts to pick up. Traditional Chianti Classico, right? We're talking about Sangiovese in general. Hallmark are cherries, tobacco, leather. That's pretty much what you're gonna find in any and all Sangiovese that's grown in Tuscany. So here leather is playing a more dominant role. Actually, it's a more muted nose, which is not uncharacteristic than it is the Castellari. Again, more north, more amplified aromas because of the cooler climate. Here, more subdued, warmer climate. In the mouth is where these things tend to work themselves out. So we're gonna go back to the Castellari. I'm expecting actually a lighter impact, a softer impact than here, but higher acid. So let's see what's going on. Oh man, it's just the nose. It's just crazy. Absolutely fantastic wine. This wine is impeccably balanced. The acid on this wine does not CKG on the chart. It is a straight line all the way across from front to back. The fruit and tannins extraordinarily well integrated from front to back. Big, huge attack of red fruit, and it just persists all the way through the finish. I'm still tasting this. The acids are there, but there's so much fruit to this wine that it's perfectly balanced with the acids, which is giving me just an extraordinarily long mouthfeel on this wine. Beautiful wine. I could sit here and just drink this on its own, but with food is where this wine will really, really shine. To really let those acids come out and play with food. Again, any kind of roasted meats with this, pasta dishes, something with mushrooms, some cheese, throw in some cheese with this, some cinghiale would be absolutely fantastic with this wine, just because this wine really wants to show you not only the fruit that it has, but it really wants to show you the juicy acids that come with it. Impeccable wine. I will definitely be buying some of this for my personal cellar, because it's, you know, another 3 to 5 years of life easy on this wine, but right now it's drinking impeccably. So let's go to the 2018 Castello di Bossi. Again, more muted nose here, not unpleasant by any stretch, but it just doesn't jump out of the glass like the Castellari. As expected, there's a bigger hit of fruit on the attack. More ripe fruit, again, warmer weather in general, more ripeness, but it doesn't have the acid that the Castellari does, what does that mean? It means that it's easier to drink on its own right now, because there is a gang of fruit to this wine, but it finishes rather short because it doesn't have the acids to pull the fruit through all the way to the end like the Castellari does. Nice wine, easily with some pasta, easy peasy, but it just doesn't have the acid that this Castellari does and the fruit to go with it. So, tail of the tape, these guys are duking it out. 2018 Chianti Classicos, Castello di Bossi 2018, Castellare 2018, both Chianti Classicos. I'm gonna give my nod, not a knockout, but I'm gonna give a unanimous decision to the Castellari on this one. It's a much more complete wine, absolutely delicious. Nothing wrong with this, guys. They both fought hard, but the Castellari, let me tell you, he's gonna move on in the tournament because this is a killer bottle of wine. So yeah, I'm gonna move the Castellari on and put him up against another 2018 Chianti Classico. We'll keep doing this to see who comes out on top. Until then, enjoy, take care, be safe.